Welcome to the GOAT Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I am joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. Gentlemen, welcome on this fine Tuesday night. We're going to be talking about 12 Days War. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Trump out here saying he doesn't know. They don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know. This shit's confusing. We're gonna go through it all, and we're gonna try and figure out some shit. But before we do, Fresh, what do the people at home gotta do?
You gotta like, subscribe, hit the bell, drop a comment, send it to your mom, your aunt, your dad, your uncle.
Send it to somebody who doesn't know what the fuck's going on. We're gonna figure this out because I'm confused as hell. I thought we were getting World War III, and apparently, I guess we got blue-balled on that. I don't know. I don't even know if I like being blue-balled in World War III or not. It's weird. All right, so we're gonna go through it and share with some other people. Might need to, maybe we can figure it out together, especially all y'all watching right now on this stream. But one thing we don't have to figure out is today's sponsor. And Deezy, I believe you have gotten something special from someone who is on the show.
Yo, coming out soon, the interview with Dr. Zodiac himself from Dr. Zodiac's MOONROCKS. Right now, I'm smoking on the Dr. Zodiac's MOONROCK blunt. It's infused. It's fucking, look at it, it's burning perfectly. I'm fucking getting lit. And throughout the course of our next streams, I will be presenting to you,
oh my God,
a buffet of different Dr. Zodiac's products. Depending on where you are in the States, you may or may not have them at your local dispensary. But if you don't, go to your local dispensary and request them. All right. Check them out on Instagram at dr.moonrocks. All right. It's fire. Damn. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Hey, man.
Also, I handcraft a lot of this shit because I do work at Dr. Zodiac's. And so, I'm not being biased, but it is great shit. So I wouldn't smoke it if it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my understanding is Snoop warned some people that it was too good. He warned Charlemagne that this shit would definitely send you to the moon.
There is a clip of that. We'll add that to this clip.
We'll throw it in the show notes. And thank you, Dr. Zodiac, for giving our homie a briefcase full of stuff. That said,
we gotta figure out how to smuggle something to Fresh.
Yeah, we gotta get sewn up to Toronto somehow, some way. Sneak it across Niagara somehow. I don't know. That said, though, I hate to say it, but there's one person that is probably not going to partake in these MOONROCKS. Our very special streaming guest today, Chris Bulik. How do you say your name, man?
Bulik. Like my friends call me Bulik because they think that it'll annoy me, and I just started to embrace it. So you can call me Bulik, you can call me Bulik, whatever.
It's kind of like my name,
You know
it's
what,
like
bro?
Raven,
Nah.
Ravine.
You're gonna drop the ick now. You're part of the Bueller clan. I'm inducting you into the Bueller.
Yeah, I've heard that. Bueller. Yeah.
All right. Well, for anybody out there watching who may not be familiar, Chris has a podcast called the Good Faith Podcast. Is that correct? I said that right?
Yes, correct.
And maybe Chris, can you give the people out there maybe a little summary of what you talk about on your show? What the concept is. It's relatively new, right? You've done about like 30 episodes.
Yeah, I think we've done 37 or 38 episodes. We do them every week at 7:00 Eastern time, PM, and we deal with a lot of like red pill content, talking about just how to. We mainly want to be like a men's self-improvement podcast, but I would love to also help women, level up and live their best lives, and just talk about like finance, faith, family building, all the complexities of intersexual, dating dynamics and stuff like that.
Cool, man. And you're in. Tell us a bit about yourself. Like you're in Philly, I think, right? Is that where you grew up, or is that what's your story? What's your journey?
Yeah, so I was born here, right about like 10 minutes north of Philadelphia. I've lived here my whole life. I'm like a third generation Philadelphian. And just I'm about to be 34. My birthday's on July 16th, and this was actually a birthday gift from my best friend, Caitlin Clark jersey. Yeah, but so like I've been living here for 34 years, and I've actually never left America, which is something I would like to do in the coming days. But yeah, I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous. I used to be a drug addict and an alcoholic, and I like something that happened, like a switch flipped when I turned 30, and I was just like, man, like my life is going nowhere. I gotta like start making some changes. Like got into podcasting and watching these like self-help, self-improvement gurus, and just start I'm on my journey to continue leveling up. That's why I joined MOA.
Yeah. So, and that's something I should mention is that we know each other from the Men of Action group, Michael Sartain's group for men who want to level up. Go High Status. Shout out Michael, and shout out all the people that we've interviewed. If you want to learn more about that, watch our relationships playlist. I think you watched the whole thing, Chris. You said
I watched your episode with Luke, your episode with Kareem, your episode with Tristan and Michael.
Yeah. Great dudes, and we got a couple more people coming from there. So, yeah, I mean, with your experience with Alcoholics Anonymous and things like that, I'm just kind of curious because someone else may be going through something like that. So they may be in a tight spot. What was it that really, I don't know, what made you decide finally that you wanted to, seek recovery and improve your life and level your status?
Well, I guess I would say like the writing was on the wall in like bright red paint for me. Like I don't think I ever held down a job for like more than 1 year when I was active, and I just got fired from my Amazon warehouse job. I was like working the overnight shift, and like I didn't have to be in work until like I think 11 o'clock at night, and like it didn't matter when my shift started. I was never on time for like anything. I was just getting like kind of cheated on, or like like dumped by my girlfriend at the time, and I was like malnourished, underweight. My skin was like pasty white skin. Like just every mark of like emotional, mental, and physical health. I was just like not meeting it. So yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad that it seems like you're doing really well now and looking good, bro. All right. You got the Caitlin Clark jersey on. And so, yeah, good to hear that. Again, everybody out there may be watching. It's the Good Faith Podcast. We'll put it in the show notes after the stream is over. And definitely subscribe and watch and show some support. And yeah, I think I watched a couple episodes and I liked what you guys were talking about, or I should say listen in the car. And I thought it was cool. That was fun. And definitely talk about that red pill content. Also talk about what's going on in the culture. I don't know, though, if you've talked about what we're about to talk about today, which is me being totally fucking confused about what the fuck's going on with World War III, because I thought we were getting World War III. All right. I thought things kicked in. You got Iran bombing Israel, or no, sorry, Israel bombing Iran. Then Iran bombed Israel. Then they said we weren't going to be joining them. Then we did join them. We then dropped the bomb on Iran. Then it's like supposed to be World War III. And then like MAGA's divided. And then like today, Trump's saying it's a ceasefire and we succeeded. And then like, Israel's trying to do some shit. He's talking shit to Israel. I mean, I don't even know what's going on, guys. This shit is weird. 12 days of weirdness is what it should be called. Some people saying it's all fake. It's a big distraction. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. And then I just want to get your guys' take because you got to help me figure this shit out. All right. last time we did a live stream, we had just talked about what was going on between Israel and Iran. So Israel out of nowhere, or no, Trump was trying to negotiate some kind of peace deal. Israel bombed the shit out of Iran. Iran sent missiles back, and that's where we left off from. Okay. From there, I think the biggest kind of trend story that happened on X, and this is before, what followed, was Tucker and Ted Cruz, this interview. Okay. And I want to talk to you, Fresh. I want to go to you. Because there were three things from this interview that really struck me. But there's one thing in particular, and I want to get your take because I know you're deep in it. So the first thing that Ted Cruz, first thing was kind of it was a got you, but it was like it was a good gotcha, which is that Tucker asked Ted Cruz Ted Cruz is out here saying we needed to blow up fucking Iran. And all Tucker asked him was how many people are in Iran, and he didn't even know. He had no idea how many people. Literally, he says, "I don't know." He didn't know. I didn't know either. But I'm not advocating to blow up a country.
Not even a guess.
Not even a guess.
And he didn't even try to guess.
He guessed, and he was like under or over or something like that.
It doesn't matter. It'd be better than just not having an answer.
Well, what would be your answer right now?
Unless he guessed 8 million or something, you know what I mean? It's 92 million.
They asked him how many Iranians were in Iran. He said too many.
I mean, it's mind blowing to me. But here's the thing that's alarming that makes me freaking lose sleep at night. Is that's most people in Congress probably. Most people in Congress have no fucking idea how many people there are in Iran, or don't know anything about the dynamics of the whole.
They don't even care, bro. They don't give a fuck. Blow it up.
They got that APAC whisper, and they just it's like a flute that just plays in their ear.
Well, that's not the only lobby that's fucking behind them, bro. There's also the military-industrial complex. We need to sell. We got to get rid of these. You know how car dealers, they need to sell the old models so that they can replenish it with the new models. That shit goes the same way with bombs. You know what I'm saying? They got a stockpile of bombs across the world, and they're we need to get these motherfuckers in action so that we could sell the new ones that we just made that they'll definitely like. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on right now, bro.
But here's the thing though. Okay, I'm gonna just go out on a limb here. I'm Mr. Arms salesman, Northrop Grumman. All right. I walk in the president's office. I'm like, Mr. President, we would love to provide you with the latest set of bombs to blow up shit. All I gotta say in that meeting is, if in case, you know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta say. And then the government will still spend $1 trillion on bombs. Why we gotta go bomb a country? That's just bad salesmanship. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't have to rely on the destruction of other countries and dropping the bombs that are currently there to be able to sell more bombs. I just feel like it's bad salesmanship on behalf of these military.
That's what you're talking about, bro. It's the same model that Apple uses for the iPhone. It's
planned obsolescence of bombs is fucking crazy, bro.
You do make a good point, Deezy. All right. I guess you got to update every year. Update the bomb that you're going to have every year. All right. I mean, okay. So that was the first thing that was kind of fucking crazy is he didn't know anything. Then the next thing he said, and this is where I want to talk to you, Fresh. He out here saying Christians got to be down with Israel. He came into office. That was the other thing. He came into office for Israel to show. He didn't say America. He didn't say any of that shit.
Can I find the clip so we can verbatim? We gotta be accurate with this, right?
Okay.
Find the clip. Keep talking.
Yeah, but he said that he came into office to be a defender of Israel. Okay, and then he said that as a Christian, Christians should be. I don't know what you tell me, Fresh. They need to be down with Israel so that they can be blessed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what. Because that's what a lot of Christians believe. My dad used to believe that shit.
I believe Jesus said, "Blessed is the nation that defends."
All right, I got it.
Or something like that.
I got the exact clip. Can we?
Okay, let's see the clip and then we'll
watch the clip and then I'm gonna.
Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate. Right. And I've worked every day to do that. Actively, listen.
He's worked every day to do that. That's what he said.
Okay, and then I don't know if you can find the other clip, Deezy, but there's a clip where he talks about how Christians need to support Israel. But okay, Fresh, take it away, because you just for everybody to know, who maybe new watching the show, Fresh is deep in with the religious stuff. He knows the word. He reads the scripture. Tell us what's going on. What should Christians believe about Israel?
All right, listen. There's a lot to unpack here, right? Like, I don't want to make this a full like Bible study thing, but like I'll just say this: like, there are many scriptures where Jesus and Paul both clarify that it is no longer a physical Israel. So we're not talking about like biblical Israel is not modern day Israel. Like the biblical Israel that Jesus brought, the Gentiles were grafted onto, and it is a spiritual Israel. So it has nothing to do with like any piece of land or anything like that. But then like in Romans 9:2-11, Paul's talking about how we shouldn't disparage Israel, right? Like we shouldn't like disparage Israel because God made a covenant with them, and like we would like for people to come back to Jesus, like for them to see that Jesus was their Messiah and to come back. And like Paul says that will happen, but like it's not our duty to like not call out their hypocrisies. We have to remember that the Jewish leadership at the time were the Pharisees, and who was the first one to call them out, call them a brood of vipers? It was Jesus. So it's not just you're down with everything, like because they call themselves Israel. That's not, first of all, again, like I was saying, that's not biblical Israel. So it's not what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, if you have the clip, go ahead.
I have it. It's 2 minutes, but I'm sure it's the first beginning of this.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's in the Bible.
It doesn't say the
As
nation
a Christian,
either.
I believe that.
Where is that?
Stop this, bro. It doesn't say the nation either, my bro.
Keep playing it. Listen.
All right, no, let's finish it.
Listen,
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my.
You didn't even have the
pull
scripture,
out the phone
bro.
It's in Genesis. So you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it, and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing.
No. I don't even want to fit, bro. He's quoting Genesis. That's an old covenant. Jesus fulfilled that. We made a new covenant now. Come on over to the new covenant, my bro. Like, what are you talking about? He's acting as if he's a Jew, like an old school Jew that never heard the name Jesus Christ. But you're a Christian.
For anyone just joining
shame
the
on
stream,
you, my bro.
We're talking about the Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz interview and the different things that were talked about.
Hold on, I think Chris has something to say about
Fresh. Fresh, can I ask you a question on your opinion?
Absolutely.
If Jesus was, here right now, and he had to pick between Palestine or Israel, which side do you think he would go with?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Just the same way that Jesus dealt with the question of should you pay your taxes. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Jesus would pick a side. Unless there was one side that God, seen as truly righteous, but both sides are taking innocent lives, and there is no greater good. So I don't believe that he would pick a side. I think that he would step aside and let them kill each other if they must.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm asking Grok, by the way.
Exactly what Jesus would do?
I said,
What would Jesus do?
If Jesus were here right now and had a say on Palestine and Israel, what would he do or say? And I'm gonna make it short. I don't want a fucking 100-page paragraph.
So like context is key, right? We're talking about if like Jesus never came before and he came now, then he wouldn't pick a side. If we're talking about Jesus came back right now as the war's going on, he's making them both bend the knee.
Yeah.
He's not, you know what I mean? He's not picking a side. So I don't think he picks a side either way.
Real quick, I wanna give a toast, a really big toast. I want to give a toast to Tucker Carlson. All right, this dude, man,
like
dude,
bro. The fucking definition of journalism with a purpose. Like, every question is to extract information so that there's a more clear picture of what it is that you're saying. He's not trying to get you in gotchas. And if you are in a gotcha, he wants to make sure that you explain yourself to the fullest extent so that like you can let your position be known. And Ted Cruz wasn't about to do that. He wasn't prepared to do that in a lot of cases.
But he's a clown. How you're calling yourself a Christian? But again, like he was quoting, like, I think it's Genesis 12:3, bro. Like, and in Genesis 12:3, like, what is the context? What is
Genesis 12:3? What is
okay, so in Genesis 12, it's the call of Abram. Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Okay, but listen, like I said, look at where this is in the book, my bro. Look how much is out. This is right in the beginning, dog. This is the Old Testament.
We said, God saying that we got be with the blessed.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you can't curse them. Or you're going to be cursed.
But look. If you continue into the book, right? Like, keep reading in this book, right? Where you get to where Jesus is, right? We are now Israel, my bro. We are grafted onto the olive tree. It's not a physical Israel anymore. All the Gentiles are grafted on, and it's a spiritual Israel. So we are Israel. So if you curse us, we're God. Nobody wants to say it, bro. I'm gonna say it right now. You know what? I'm gonna even say it.
Oh shit, here we go.
We're God's chosen people now, bro. We're God's chosen now, bro. You see this? You see this, bro? We're God's chosen now.
Damn. Chris, I don't know if you know what you signed up for today, bro, but
I like this. I already fresh quoted one of my favorite bars by Jesus, which was give. What is he says? Give to Caesar what is Caesar. Give to God what is God's. Like that's
what's the bar? What is that?
He's talking about taxes, and somebody asked Jesus if it's like if it's like godly to pay taxes, and like Jesus says like pay your tax. Yeah, I mean like pay your taxes. give to the Roman government what the Roman government is like owed, but like give to God what God is owed.
Right. The tithe, I guess.
Matthew 22:17-21.
Okay, so I guess the point of talking
render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. That is the direct line.
Got it. That is a bar, man. That's a like hip hop shit right there.
Yeah.
Who's Caesar?
Bro, Jesus was a poet.
Caesar, bitch.
Jesus was a poet, bro.
Yeah.
Storyteller, poet. I guess the point of bringing all this up is just that this is how a lot of people in our government think. But I'm just amazed by the lack of. I mean, and again, it's hard for me to take Ted Cruz seriously. To me, my suspicion is that he got that APAC money, nice bag, and he's just saying whatever the fuck he needs to say to.
He's clearly crying at the wall, my bro. Clearly, because how you a Christian quoting the Old Testament as your law? You're not a Christian, bro. I'm sorry, you're not.
So what you're saying, just real quick, because I want to make sure it's clear. So Old Testament. My understanding of the Old Testament is that, you know, like you would have to atone, like you would have to kill. You have to kill the lamb. You have to cut the
Brother,
neck of the lamb and bleed
there
it
are
out.
613 laws in the Old Testament.
Okay.
If you break one of those laws, you broke them all. You're
Okay.
not righteous
then-
no more.
You would have to go to the temple. Right?
According to Grok,
And-
APAC has given Ted Cruz $1,309,326.
1 million.
Yeah, so they would do like the Passover shit. They would like pass their fucking the stuff to the chickens and to the animals and then sacrifice them, you know, like
Right. And then the point of Jesus is that he is
he's
the
the
lamb.
final atonement, bro, the Passover lamb, bro, you know?
Right. And so after Jesus, like, as long as you ask for if you truly are repentant and you ask for forgiveness, then you can be washed of your sin.
Again, you do have to truly believe that Jesus Christ is Lord. He came, lived the perfect life. He died for our sins, and he rose on the third day. You have to truly believe that in your heart. And you have to believe that because he did that, you are atoned. And then if you are truly repentant, yeah, of course.
In Christian belief, Jesus is seen as the fulfillment of the promise, particularly the part about all nations being blessed in the New Testament, especially in Paul's letters and in Romans 4:13 through 17, argues that Jesus, as a descendant of Abraham, is a seed through whom the promise is realized. Paul emphasizes that the true heirs of Abraham's promise are not just ethnic Israel, but all who share Abraham's faith, including Gentiles through Christ. Jesus' life, death, and resurrection are understood to extend the blessing of salvation to all humanity, fulfilling the universal scope of the promise. However, from a Jewish perspective, the promise to Abraham is primarily the covenant with Israel, land, descendants, and a special relationship with God. Since Judaism does not recognize Jesus as the Messiah, it would not see him as redeeming or fulfilling this promise. Instead, the focus remains ongoing with the covenant with the Jewish. The focus remains with the ongoing covenant with Jewish people. That's the general.
I think Chris, you have something you want to say?
So, this is just like a little conversation that I've had with my friends in the church. And are there any parts of the Old Testament that you find contradictory? And like, I'll give you an example of one thing that I really can't get on board with, and like I've kind of, I don't know, like I believe somewhere in the Old Testament it says that like Earth is like 6,000 years old or something like that. Like, does everyone here believe that the Earth is
Does
much
it actually
older
say that in the Old Testament? Because I don't know if it really even says
It
that.
doesn't.
I mean, or is it interpreted as such?
It doesn't. That's a young Earth interpretation. But
Okay.
Christians and Jews believe the scientific definition. It's our calendar is like from Noah, right? From Noah.
Right.
Like from the time of Abraham. That's where our calendar is counted from. It's not our calendar is counted from the beginning, like not from Adam, right?
Mhm.
Right.
It's from Abraham.
Okay.
So,
And I mean, and just to be clear, like, I'm the black sheep of this operation here. All right,
There's up to 10,000 years old.
These guys be going to heaven. I'd be fucking out here.
Genesis,
as
in
raised
Genesis
7-day Adventist, bro.
In Genesis-
he was raised barely Christian, and then he left the faith.
Genesis 1, the creation account describes 6 days of creation, which the young Earth creationists take literally, suggesting that the Earth is around 6 to 10,000 years old. Comes from adding up the genealogies in Genesis 5 and 11, which trace from Adam to Abraham.
Okay.
But now they explain the Younger Dryas and the
That's
Nephilim,
that's
bro.
just the Jewish calendar, bro. That's not like Abraham. Oh my God. Again,
All right,
even if we
grant
that man, no, because even if we grant man was 6,000 here for 6,000 years old, that doesn't mean like that the earth was here for like, because even we know that like one day for God doesn't necessarily mean one day for us. You know what I'm saying? Like God made the earth in 7 days. What does that mean to us? 7 of our days, the earth wasn't made. How the fuck do we know what days were?
I mean,
7 of God's days.
I mean, in there like mathematics and gematria and all that? I mean, I don't even.
Yeah,
know
well, they
anything
say every day is 1,000 years.
Well, also like the
God.
Fibonacci sequence. I don't know if that relates to 7, but there's significance in number 3s and 7s and
Everything relates to 7 because 7 is the number of completion. But, anyways, you wanted to move on?
yeah. Listen. I mean, just us 4 sitting here and talking about this. We have just learned more than Ted Cruz did before he got interviewed by Tucker Carlson. Think about that. That is,
and he went to Sunday school
even...
as a kid. He's like, I went to Sunday school. I learned all this.
Bro, wouldn't you?
What?
Like, I'm about to be interviewed by Tucker Carlson. He is an influential figure in MAGA. I'm going to talk to him about my support for Israel.
And I'm going to say,
bro,
probably.
I 100% Tucker sent some kind of like, hey, these are kind of the things we're going to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way they didn't have any prior communication.
We do show guides and he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, if Tucker doesn't do show guides, then we're working too hard out here. All right. I mean, not that we do fancy enough show guides, but still, I'm like, I don't know. Bro, it blows my mind.
If you sent me our show guide today, which you did, how did I prepare? As somebody who says I follow Christ, what do I have, bro? I got scripture for you. I got scripture and I got supporting documents for scripture for you, if you want, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, I'm a Christian.
Bro, at least okay. I would have even been okay. And I think this is probably the last thing I'll say. I would have been okay with Ted Cruz pulling out his phone and typing into Perplexity. I would have been like, I could at least be like, all right, at least he's curious. At least he's like, if he cares. Oh man, you know what? I should know that. I'm a dumbass. Let me look at Perplexity real quick. 90 million people. Okay, I should have looked that up. But hey,
I don't sit around studying population charts. That's what his counter was. I'll find the clip if you don't believe me, but it's pretty much exactly that.
I don't know, Chris. What do you think? I mean, this is.
I mean, I'm not the most political person. I think Ted Cruz is a little bit of a joke ever since Donald Trump said his wife looks like a dog or something like that. He's like, I'm sorry, Ted, she looks like a dog. But that was him, right?
I mean, yeah.
Florida. You don't insult a man's wife.
Yeah. Well, there was that thing where it was snowing in Texas, I remember, and he flew down to Cancun or some shit. I don't know. He was missing in action, but I mean, but some things I like him on. I mean, I like him on when it comes to the law or Supreme Court stuff. I mean, he was somebody who was being considered for the Supreme Court at one point.
I mean, to be fair, I also don't love Tucker Carlson. There's very few political pundits that I really do like. I like Piers Morgan. He is kind of he was a very political person, and I feel and I think he got deplatformed and he started his own show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, and I really like watching it. He just has it's very similar to the way this show goes, and he just has people from all parts of the spectrum come on to his show.
Yeah, I was actually watching that today because I think he had Candace Owens on and some other people, and him and Candace got into it. I mean, they but I can respect that. He may have some views that I'm like, that's a bum ass view, but he's willing to let somebody come on the show, say their piece, and get their, he lets the argument be the argument. So, you know what? Shout out Piers. I'll shout him out. Yeah, I know he gets a lot of shit.
We gotta cheers him, bro. We're gonna pretend even after Chris said it that we didn't fully base our shit on Piers Morgan Live, bro.
Wait, am I Piers?
No, not the show, the fucking layout.
Right.
It does. That was my first thought. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's straight up where I got it from, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is his shit looks so much more clean and professional. Let's make it look like a proper show, but make it our own.
Okay, so
But
what
he's
we
the
got?
guy who gave me this idea.
What we
at
got?
all.
Cheers is the show producer. I don't know who that is. Piers Morgan, show producer, needs to get a toast. That's what we got.
I'm
toast.
cheersing on an empty cup, bro. I'm already empty. I need to go fucking.
Oh, bro,
That's
go ahead and
haram.
grab some.
Run.
Go and grab some.
Go.
You got some beer? You got what do you got?
Bro.
Did you see Piers Morgan and Andrew Tate interview, like both of them?
Yeah.
There was one where he did just one-on-one, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
then he's had Andrew on the panel show. But yeah, I thought I mean I feel like they go back and forth and they insult each other, talk shit, but I think it's like it's kind of like bros.
Yeah.
You know, I think they.
But that's what Pierce is. He's a little like he's classically left. You know what I'm saying? He's not like whatever the fuck we have now. You know what I mean? He's classically left. So, but he's willing to have the conversation. He always has been. He's just like, I think that for the longest time he was being paid and he had no choice but to take the side of like extreme left views that he probably didn't agree with.
One movement that I'm like loving, the cultural abandonment of like center leftists, because the radical left is just leaving them in the dust. Like guys like Bill Maher and Piers Morgan, they're like kind of like common sense leftists, and they're just getting like completely abandoned, and now they're getting pushed actually towards the right wing because like it makes more common sense than the radical left and all of their shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Overton window is shifting, but I also think, I mean, and now you bring it up, this is something that something that is kind of happening now. So there was a big question mark about whether or not we were going to get pulled into this war for like 2 days. Okay. Usually it's 72 hours of Trump, but this one's been a long one. It's been a long one. All right. And I think today, like he's fed up, but, yeah, for I think a day or two or 24 hours, something, people were like, are we going to is Israel going to drag us into World War III? Is that what's happening now? Is the United States going to get involved? Are we going to send troops? Blah, 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 blah. All right. And what happened over the weekend, Saturday night, is we had a sneak B-6 bomber attack where they dropped some big-ass bunker busters on what they claim are 3 different Iranian nuclear development sites on Saturday night. That's what happened. Okay. And this, first of all, is kind of terrifying. You know, what's going to happen next. But second is there was a lot of controversy in MAGA. You know, there's a lot of, so there's a thing now where they're saying, like, you're talking about the woke left, I think, you know, like, and pushing the Overton window to the right with these guys. There's another faction where they're calling it the woke right. And the woke right, in my opinion, is actual MAGA, which is, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massie, Congressman Massie, and then people, people like, I don't know, all the people that, I mean, you could include Nick Fuentes in that, you can include Myron Gaines, like this entire contingent of people that have been.
No, Nick Fuentes and Myron Gaines are the extreme white. Right.
Okay, so they're the woke. So they're saying they're the woke right, but here's the thing. All right.
Not
the
to
neocons,
discount that. Myron, Nick, we would love to have you on the podcast because why the fuck not at this point?
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
If they're gonna cancel you, they're gonna cancel us too. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. Well, Nick had, I mean, that night, Nick had, I think, like 35K or something. Like his freaking channel was blowing up live. But that said, there's this fracturing that's occurred, or I don't know, maybe it's going to be kind of just, whatever, patched up. But there's a fracturing between the pro-Israel, regime change, neoconservative wing of Republicans, okay, that want to see regime change and are super pro-Israel. And then there's what I think is really actually MAGA. It's not the woke right. It's just MAGA. It's like America only people. All right. I don't give a shit about Israel, and I don't give a shit about Iran either. I want us to not be in another fucking, 20-year war like Iraq or whatever. That's that wing. And, Congressman Massie, basically wrote a big thing saying, hey, listen, this is unconstitutional. Congress declares the wars. Congress has to give, the appropriate, the approval, vote on and approve of something like a war with Iran. So
how many bombs? How many bombs did Obama drop without the approval of Congress?
You want me to grok it?
Sure.
Yeah,
it's like 28,000 or some shit, bro.
True. Although I think with him,
how many did Trump drop? 57 or some shit.
With Obama, those in Afghanistan war and Iraq war, right? I'm assuming, like, not just random one, Yemen and Syria. And
how many bombs did Obama drop without Congress, without declaring war?
Estimates suggest President Obama authorized about 26,171 bombs dropped in 2016 alone, primarily in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and Pakistan. Holy shit, bro.
Let me ask you something. If that was during war times, why would he need Congress's permission?
Without explicit congressional approval. Over his presidency, the total number of airstrikes, including drone strikes, is estimated to be significantly higher, with 563 drone strikes alone in Pakistan and Somalia and Yemen. These actions relied on existing authorizations, like 2001 authorization for use of military force, rather than new congressional votes.
Does that apply
exact
to...
totals vary due to incomplete reporting and differing definition of quote strikes?
I mean, it's been murky for a long time now, since 9/11 or in the Iraq war. It's been murky as fuck. Like, what's war, what's not war, even though it's all war. But I mean, I guess there are two things that come to mind with this situation. Okay, first thing is what is Congress just shirking their duty all the time, and the president just is a dictator now. The president can do whatever. Because I don't know. To me, this was a line that Trump crossed that makes me. He's gonna have to do a lot of shit if he wants to win back any. I mean, not that whatever. My support's my support. But
did you care when Obama did it?
Yeah, I did.
Times?
I did.
Okay, then if you're consistent, then cool.
Yeah. No, it was not.
He dropped. If you
I don't like what George GW did.
The United States dropped what, 6 bunker busters plus like what, 60? Was it 60 tomahawks? So we shot off 66 missiles. Is that right? Yeah. 66.
Bro, isn't it only like 57 or some shit, bro?
Huh?
I mean, okay,
isn't
to be fair,
57.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we should figure out the exact number for numerology reasons, but yeah, we didn't. We dropped like less than 100 missiles. It wasn't like 26,170.
I'm not saying that I support dropping bombs anywhere. Let's clarify.
Right.
That. I'm just saying.
I'm bringing realization to numbers as well.
I'm just saying that, like, bro, we can't be like, oh, like this guy's the fucking worst. Like, hang this guy. And like all these other presidents are dropping obscene amounts of fucking bombs without Congress. Like, okay, he did a thing. Like, all right, cool, bro. Like, let's just talk about the thing. Let's not make it out.
He also did a bunch of airstrikes in. He did a bunch of airstrikes in his first presidency too.
Who?
Trump.
I think this is different though.
But he did. Yeah, he fucking did an airstrike on.
He did. He killed that Soleimani guy.
Yeah.
So tell me why you feel this is different, brother.
I feel this is different because the stakes of this are. I mean, I don't think any of it's good, and I've always been, even with the Iraq War, I was always against it. Protested that thing back in whenever, my ancient times. I'm not gonna give away when I was 1 year old, out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? But I think in this scenario, it is such a. I mean, well, first of all, they were basically out here being like, Iran's getting a nuclear weapon. Iran's this dangerous thing. They doing the chants. They're doing the chants. Death to America. All right, Iran is this dangerous nation. We must go in and do all this shit. So when you're dropping these bunker busters and blowing up shit, that's like World War III. I thought we were like, okay, we're in World War III now. We on it now. All right, we in. Okay, it's done. Like now it's going to escalate.
Is that because of like your own
Paranoia.
like your own presuppositions now because it's 2025 that you feel like that's what it's going to be. But like when they were bombing Afghanistan, did you like, oh, it's World War III? No, nobody was like, oh, it's World War III. They're just bombing someplace in the fucking Middle East, bro. Those guys lit off 14 missiles. They took the Americans took out 13 and let one go because it wasn't hitting shit. Not one person died, bro. Not one single person.
Right. So but
like
again, I guess my thought is,
sup, Key? Sup, baby?
Oh shit. What up, Key? Let's go. Everybody check out Key, follow Key if you're out in the chat. Him and Caleb out here. I see you on Instagram.
Go check out their clothing brand. It's fucking fire.
Global. Yeah, it is actually. It is.
You need to get some out to us, man.
Where's our fits?
Send us some fucking Forever Global. You'll be a sponsor. We'll wear it.
Oh yeah, sponsor us, bro.
See, Chris, that's how
sponsor us. I'll be out here like wearing the fits and everything. Send me that shit out of ATL, everybody.
I'm looking them up right now.
Yeah, Forever Global. I think Forever. Let us know, Key.
What was it? What's his channel
on the way? We can get everyone here sample heat.
New summer.
He said
on the
summer
way.
heat.
No more.
We can get everyone here sample heat. Hey, and not only us, Key, but you got Chris over here. He's got the Good Faith podcast. So I'm sure if you want to drop him some gear, he'll put it on. He'll wear it. Who knows? By that time, Chris might be fucking big time, bro. He might be 100K by that point. Who knows?
I doubt that.
Never know, man. You might Elon come in the podcast randomly. Nice and Nat randomly hop on the podcast. Oh shit! Okay, there you go.
Wait, what's FG?
Forever Global. If that's the name of their brand.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wear like pretty much everything. I don't really fuck with hoodies, but you know, like I fuck with anything else. I love tank tops. A good tank top, you know, so I could like, you know, air out the pits.
There you have it, Key. You already got some feedback, customer feedback. I know what you're saying, Fresh. It wasn't that bad, you know what I'm saying? But I think what really rubbed people the wrong way, why it was different this time, is because Trump made it a campaign promise that he would not get into a war with Iran. He would not. Now it seems like there's a little bit of a ceasefire, and maybe he's keeping that promise in a different way. But while it was happening, and then you hear these bombers are dropping things, it looked like Trump was on board. He was on board. Oh, here's the other thing. Let's backtrack a little bit. Israel, like Trump was trying to negotiate peace, and Israel started dropping bombs. And normally what would happen is if somebody, in my opinion, as an American, if we're doing some shit, and then you're just going to come in and blow up some shit to try and pull us into some kind of war, I mean, that's a no-no. Like that's I'm not with that. Like, we're fucking America. Like, you don't fucking try and pull us into anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, with Trump sending bombers, what it felt like was, oh, he's on board with, like, he's cucking, man. He cucking for Israel, bro, for Netanyahu.
Oh, that's
Netanyahu
sure.
come in here and bomb shit, and then he'll send the bombers right behind him. I don't know. I mean, sorry, what were you gonna say?
That's for sure.
He was pissed off this morning.
Can I ask you guys a little bit unrelated of a question, but still in the same vein?
Sure.
What do you guys think about all these Ivy League schools denying funding for, like the pro-Palestine protests and stuff like that?
I think that's their right. I think that the problem for me isn't anybody being pro-Palestine. The problem is that they're anti-America. Mm-hmm. And so if you're anti-America, then you're funding.
You're in America. You're fucking in America. It's government funded with American money by taxpayers. You can't be anti-America.
In America, burning American flags,
using American resources.
But wait,
come on,
are
America,
we anti-America, or is it because they're anti-Israel? I mean, what was
No,
the,
they're
what's the- 'cause-
anti-America, bro. They're burning American flags, brother. They're saying fuck America. Like,
Okay.
if it was just fuck Israel, who gives a fuck? It's a foreign nation.
No,
I say
my
it right now,
understanding
fuck
was they
Israel.
were
Who
getting
cares?
sent these college. I think it was what you're referring to, Chris, right? Like these college kids are getting sent home because they were, protesting, saying pro-Palestine. But I think a lot of it was that they were anti-Israel, not. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, a lot of them. It started a lot of their scholarships were being revoked because they were protesting and they were even disrupting like some students from attending classes and stuff like that. So,
Oh wait, were they burning American flags? For sure.
like, there's always a couple bad.
Yeah, well, if
in the
you're
bunch,
if you're like fucking with the flow of people's life, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Sure.
That's not peaceful protest.
And that's what I
That's
hate
not
about this
peaceful.
No King's Day shit is like, yeah, like if you're gonna be on the sidewalk with your picket sign, I'm fine with that. As soon as you get in the way of traffic, you're becoming a disruptive person, and
no, at some point it becomes like kidnapping in a sense. You're preventing someone from progressing and leaving.
yeah,
And that's,
Well, if you're,
you're
if
like
you're
holding them
blocking,
hostage.
if you're blocking me in, you're becoming a speed bump.
yeah,
Like that's fucking crazy, bro.
but yeah,
Yeah,
so
I agree. If you're, I mean, because I lived in LA and in 2020, that shit was off the chain, and there were people out in the streets, and I remember I was living in downtown LA, and I was like just holed up in my apartment, like just I hope nobody storms the Bastille up in here, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like if you're in the street and you're blocking somebody, they have a right to run over you. I'm sorry, like you need to fucking chill the fuck out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get your bitch ass on the sidewalk where you can be ignored in peace, but don't be out in here. Some people have jobs to get to, and like fuck out.
And if
These people are paying to be at school, bro. They want to
Yeah.
go learn.
Oh,
Like,
bro,
you're
if you're
stopping them
living-
from fucking learning because what? Because what?
If you're
Something
living-
like you don't even truly care about, my bro. Like they're out there like queers for Palestine. It says like, bro, you're gonna get tossed off a fucking building in Palestine. What are you talking about, bro? Well, there's none left, but you're gonna get buried in rubble in Palestine.
that's why. Oh, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
There's not, bro. What do you want me to pretend that there's buildings for them to throw off?
I mean, I will say this: like, I don't know if you saw the video of gay dudes in Israel during this whole conflict. They were happy to be in the bunker together. So, Israel's definitely,
What are you watching on Pornhub, bro?
No, you gotta look at X. There's like this dude. Whatever. What if I was gay, huh? Would that change the show? Huh?
No.
Kick me off the show? Yeah,
you might get more viewers.
Yeah.
It would
It
change
better
the
work
make
harder.
YouTube
show.
monetize us finally. How about that? Didn't think of that, huh?
Make YouTube.
You know what? I'm green. I'm putting the trans flag on my green screen. All right, we gotta get this. We gotta get this money, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do, Chris. All right. Sometimes men of action, right? We gotta take action.
One of these live streams, you should do that at like the last like 10-15 minutes of the show, just to like as a test to see if the viewer count goes up out of nowhere.
Probably not, because they'll be like, oh well, he's a what's it called? He's a Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner type. So we probably still wouldn't get monetized. But
Here,
Doesn't
bro.
support the
Okay.
cause.
Look, now I'm rainbow, right? Look, my background's rainbow, right?
gays, we love you. All right, don't listen to these guys.
Some of
But
them.
bring it back.
At least there's at least one that I love.
Great.
Who? Who's the one gay you love?
I'm not gonna. He knows who he is.
Yeah, you know which gay you are.
Do you guys like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy?
Yeah. Come on now.
I fucking love that show, and I love I think his name's Billy or whoever the construction worker is that like renovates the house and shit. What's
Right.
Carpenter. The Carpenter. I love him.
Who's your favorite Queer Eye? I like the hairstyle guy.
Jonathan.
Yeah, with the long hair and whatever.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah. I like anything where people get a makeover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like ugly and they got like all this crazy hair and all that shit, and then all of a sudden they come in and they like cut the mustache and like shave it. I like that kind of shit. Anyway, bringing it.
Well,
back
you know what else got a makeover? Iran's nuclear facilities.
They certainly did. Bashed into the
no.
fucking ground by a bunker buster. So anyway, so we dropped these bombs. MAGA split. MTG out here. She wrote a whole freaking novel. I got 3 kids. Trump, you promised us we would not get another war. You have betrayed us. You're a neocon. You've given into Israel. You've given in all this shit. Massie coming out here. War Powers Act, bitch. Bam. Then Trump returned fire on both of them, or not. He didn't really do MTG. I think he likes MTG, but Massie, he does not like Thomas Massie, and he said he does not like Thomas Massie so much. They're making a pact. They doing the pact, funding the pact, and they're going to come after him to primary him in the next election. I don't think he's going to lose. I think his constituency really loves him. They voted him 70% last time, and they're probably going to. I think random people are going to be donating now. I might have even donated. I might have even done that. So anyway, MAGA split. Everybody's saying Trump's betrayed them, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere yesterday, we done. We done.
It should be known as the 12-day war. But I guess it's the 13-day war because they still kept bombing each other afterwards. Are they still bombing each other now? What's the deal?
Okay, so what? First of all, what's the logic behind saying, okay, there's going to be a ceasefire
In
in
12
the future,
hours.
right?
I knew.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the
Get
same.
it off
hey,
now,
it's the
boys.
same.
All right, get
Is
your
that
licks in.
noon?
Get your licks in. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get-
Talk
Look,
about
your nut right
Look. It's the same thing as Biden preemptively pardoning somebody. Like they're pardoning.
No, are you saying that he's just as bad as Biden?
No, it's the same move though.
Oh no.
I mean, what do you think, Fred? You think we should give these I'm like, a ceasefire. Do it. Just cease.
Yeah, now.
Cease.
Now.
Now.
I mean, I've been kind of like like thinking about this game quote. The game, the rapper. Like he said, when your enemies beg for mercy, that means the beat is over. So I'm saying, like, I mean, like maybe I disagree with you guys. I'm a Israel advocate. Like I think like your alliances and your beefs like need to be like separate but defined, and like London and Israel, they're our allies. Like we gotta like do whatever it takes to defend our allies. And if you fuck with our allies, you're our enemy. You know what I mean? So like, with your enemies, you gotta just fucking crush them. You know what I mean? Even if that means you gotta get your hands dirty, I say, like make them beg for our forgiveness.
Chris with the gang, man. He's saying we a gang. All right. We got
American
dumbasses in this gang. We got people who start shit, but it don't matter. When the throwdown comes, you gotta throw down. I mean,
Look,
that's what you try to convince me of,
I'm gonna
Fresh.
say it
What
like
does that
this,
ultimately lead to, though?
Nah, look, I'm gonna say it like this, bro. It's two different perspectives. Like on a personal level, if we're all out, and Chris, you start a beef with somebody, right? I'm not gonna stop in the middle of the beef and be like, bro, what happened? I'm gonna just fuck that guy up, right? And then when it's done, I'm like, hey, bro, like, what happened? But we're talking about war, boys. We're not talking about going to the club. Like we're talking about war, and we're talking about it's not Iran fucked with our homie. Our homie went and dropped bombs on Iran, and we're like,
but if you're in the gang, it doesn't matter, man.
No,
hey,
it's not it, bro.
Hey, if you Bloods or you Crips or whatever, somebody does some shit, you got to step up. That's what Chris, is that what you're saying, Chris?
But it's not a personal. That's again, in my opinion, that is on a personal level. On a country level, these guys are just picking war because they don't like them.
But like, I'm no like geographical expert, but isn't like Israel situated in between like 6 countries that like don't fuck with them and like would be fine wiping them off the map and shit. Like,
I think. Okay, so there's a long history here, even though it's from 1948 when Israel was created. There's a long history and a lot of. So that Israel says that we didn't do nothing, and Palestinians and the other Arab countries say that we welcomed you and then you took advantage of us. There's a lot of there's a lot of history there, and I don't know it all. I know what I've heard, what I have listened to from this guy Daryl Cooper does he did this podcast called Martyr Made Podcast, and it's really excellent, and it does a pretty fair job of kind of telling the story of the creation of Israel and all kinds of stuff, so I would say his is probably the most balanced thing that I've heard, where it gives the benefit of the doubt to both sides in terms of their position. But in this, and I might agree with you, Chris, but in this specific situation, Trump was trying to negotiate a peaceful resolution or something like he was to the point where he went to the other Arab nations before this and did not even visit Israel because he was sick of their bullshit. He was like, I'm not even going to visit Israel. And Trump is a pro-Israel guy. Like, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, his grandkids are Jewish, by virtue of their father. So that's where I go. Okay.
By the way, that means they're not Jewish. Just
they're not?
No, it's passed by their mother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Israel's kind of like the Joe Pesci that like you bring to the club and like you're just trying to have like a fun time, like drinking, like talk to some ladies, and like Israel's over there like yapping off at like all these like
I'm funny how? Like funny haha? Like but listen, the world's not a fucking club, my bro. That's the problem. This is the world, not a nightclub.
All right,
you can't just go around bombing people and expecting that other countries are just gonna bomb them. Like he already told you, you're starting wars and being like, oh, you say my big bro's name. Say my big bro's name. Like you're not even
I think Chris is saying that Israel is Jay Pesci.
No.
Jew Pesci.
Yo, okay, listen. All right. Presidents before Trump have said that there cannot be a nuclear Iran. And for everyone that might be watching, I have an Obama clip saying that we cannot have that. All right. But before I play that clip, I want to make the greater scheme of what I think, and I will agree with if it's the truth. But I want to see some evidence, right? Because if Iran's already at 60% nuclear enrichment, from 60 to 90 doesn't take long.
All right, play. Let's play the clip of Obama, and then we'll talk.
Playing it, but all right.
A nuclear Iran is a threat to our national security, and it's a threat to Israel's national security. We cannot afford to have a nuclear arms race in the most volatile region of the world.
I'm glad that you played that, because you see what he said? He just
I heard it.
He didn't just say your national security, my bro. You see who else's national security he said?
Let me finish what I'm saying. If they really did want to make a nuclear, like, why are they enriching uranium past 5, 6, 7, 10%? The only reason would be for a nuclear weapon.
Brother, let me just tell you something. Let me just tell you something. Bro, no, let me just tell you something, bro. It does not matter. They are not an American anything. They are a sovereign country.
I get it.
Leave them, bro. No, bro. You don't get it.
Because I know.
It's
North
not
Korea has nuclear weapons.
You saying we ain't gonna hold down with the homies, Fresh? Is that what you're saying? We ain't gonna hold down with the homies? Our greatest ally?
Who's greatest ally?
They're our greatest ally. They do.
Brother, I follow one king, and they put him on a cross.
I mean, okay.
Fuck no.
All right, that we're going ancient here. I'm just saying, I'm playing a little devil's advocate here, because so a couple of things, because people keep going. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. All right.
Yeah, you know,
But Israel,
BB, and whoever's president at the time that BB's saying it.
I'm just.
I don't care.
Exactly.
Listen,
you're preaching to the choir. Like, my
why
thing
the
with
fuck they didn't just like nuke them then? If
Oh.
it's that fucking drastic, like what the fuck?
okay, so
then wipe them
here's
off
the
if you're
thing. Okay,
serious.
Here we
Right,
talked
if
about
you're
this last.
serious, then fucking nut up or shut up.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
Man,
President Z, Putin.
I'm
we
about
gotta
to get dragged into some
end it.
beef between
You
Fresh
end
and Deezy here.
You end it, or we're ending it. We're pressing the button. It's just them, though. Don't worry. It's not coming at you. It's going at them. We need to just end this.
Okay, I mean, Fresh doesn't run
If
off.
it's that serious, right?
Fresh
They're
doesn't
going
run
to
off.
build a bomb next week, and they're absolutely going to drop it on someone for no reason.
Let me just
You can't
say a
do
few
that. Go
things.
ahead.
Let me just say a few things here. Okay, this thing, Iran cannot get a bomb. Israel done stole nuclear secrets from us. All right, that's documented evidence. All right, we did not give them their nuclear weapons. They stole that shit from us. Kennedy, and some would say that a big reason why Kennedy got clipped is because of his lack of support for Israel having nuclear weapons. So,
Yo, bro, your greatest ally has desalinization, right? They can take seawater and make it drinkable and usable. And California just had some serious wildfires. Why didn't your greatest ally now provide you with the tech for desalinization so this doesn't happen again? Tell me,
hey, man.
bro.
Hey, man,
Why,
listen,
why
I'll
is
do
your
you-
greatest
I'll do you-
ally being your greatest ally?
I'll do
I
you
wanna
one better.
Nuclear weapons program. Here's a general, concise overview based on available information on how Israel came up with their nuclear weapons program. In the mid 1950s, Israel under Shimon Peres, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, leadership secured a secret deal with France, which was developing its own nuclear program at the time. France also provided technical expertise, a nuclear reactor, and materials for the Dimona facility in the Negev desert. Constructing started in 1958. It was capable of producing plutonium, a key component for a nuclear weapon. And then it reportedly obtained heavy water from Norway via UK.
But how did they get the ask Grok, how did Israel get?
And then there
bomb?
was also allegations of Israel acquiring enriched uranium through covert means such as theft from U.S. facilities like the NUMEC plant in Pennsylvania during the 1960s.
Oh yeah, your greatest
So we
ally.
didn't but we did not give Israel.
Wait, hold on. We have non-alleged but actual like sentences here. Covert operations. Israel employed espionage and sabotage to advance its program and hinder others. The Mossad is linked to actions like damaging nuclear cores destined for Iraq and assassinating nuclear scientists in rival programs.
Has Israel? So another thing Kennedy wanted is he wanted inspectors to make sure that Israel did not have the bomb before they had it. And did they agree to that? They did.
In 1960, the United States discovered Israel's nuclear activities at Dimona, initially misrepresented as a textile factory. Despite concerns, U.S. did not halt the program. Israel adopted a policy of nuclear opacity. Sorry, I'm high as fuck. Shout out Dr. Zodiac's MOONROCKS.
And
Neither
don't forget to
confirming
like,
nor
subscribe,
denying
hit the bell, drop a comment, all those good things.
I see all y'all out there streaming. Let's share. Let's do a little sharing. Sharing is caring.
Israel achieved nuclear capability by the late 1960s. Suggests it possesses 90 to 200 warheads today.
Okay. Did Israel? Let me ask another question. Did Israel ever allow IAEA inspectors to come into their country and inspect their nuclear facilities?
No.
Which every other country in the world, pretty much, that has nuclear weapons, that isn't a superpower, has agreed to. Did they do that?
I'm gonna preemptively say that it's no. Okay, well, before they even whatever, and then I'm gonna say, why the fuck are we listening to somebody who won't even show us their nukes? about
So
if we should be allowed to have
to
nukes.
answer your question, they are a non-signatory to the non-proliferation agreement, which means that they avoid mandatory oversight. In the early 1960s, after they discovered the reactor, officials conducted limited visits.
So they have not signed any non-proliferation treaty of any kind related to nukes.
Disgusting.
Okay, so the entire Israel nuclear program, I mean, they're the only country in that region that has a nuclear program. So you're gonna tell me
Pakistan also has nukes.
they have nukes, but you're gonna tell me that no other Middle Eastern country has. I'm just saying. It just seems a little unfair to me. Now, some argue, oh, well, they're crazy Islamic extremists. They cannot have these weapons. But I would.
Okay, but that's
look,
that's a whole different conversation. I'm as somebody who follows Christ, I can't be pro-Islam. They just bombed they just jihaded a church in Damascus, and I mean, but again, I think that if that's the case, you need to go after that. Like, you need to take that out, bro. If you stand on that, if you really stand on business, you're like, bro, Islam is a scourge to the earth, whatever.
But you could argue that Israel's been bombing Christians in Gaza.
They have.
That's
there's only 1%. No, because only like 1% of Gaza is.
I guess what I'm saying is, Christian. And we talked about it last week, but I think nobody should have nukes. Like, if you're going to ask Iran not to build a nuclear program, and my honest opinion is, you got to ask Israel to give up its nukes as well. You can't have one country in the region have all the nukes and then all the other. Otherwise, what you're saying is, this country, Israel, is special, and it deserves to basically rule over the entire Middle East.
Yeah, it's the classic idiom, right? Is like, if you come to the table with your fists and I come with my fists, then we can talk about the law. If you come with a knife and I come with a knife, then we can discuss politics. But if you come with a gun and I come with my hands, then it's all in your hands. It's all what you decide.
Do you think that America should have the right to nuclear weaponry?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think that if we're going to ask other countries
to not have it
and actively,
we made it first. God damn it!
That's true. We did build that shit. So you know what, USA.
Wasn't it wasn't Oppenheimer like a? What was he?
Doesn't matter. He was employed by the United States government. God damn it!
Dang it, Chris. I guess the Jews did make it first. Einstein and Oppenheimer, man. Damn. Didn't even think about that. All right, Israel.
No.
You get to keep them nukes. What?
Bro.
What?
No, nobody has. Bro, what's wrong with you?
Well, wait. If we're
no nukes.
Just send the nukes. It's over, boys.
If we're saying that Israel is not a geographical nation, but we are all part of Israel, then technically Israel created nuclear weapons.
If you're a follower of Jesus, you're grafted to the olive tree. You're part of Israel, a spiritual.
Are we ever gonna play this?
I mean, Chris, that's a good point, man. I mean, you're going to be over, Chris. All right, Israel, keep your program, keep your nukes.
Wait, I want to play this clip of Trump. He was pissed off this morning. We have to talk about it, bro.
Okay, yeah. We got to talk about the final chapter of this whole deal.
We got to talk about Trump and how he's feeling about the fucking 13-day war.
He's definitely in his feelings.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel.
The biggest load that we've seen is going to be clipped, bro. You know it is.
You don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
And he walks off. Look at him walk off.
Damn. Boss is not happy.
Yeah.
Dad is not
But
happy.
he's right. He's fucking right. He's not wrong. His shit is right. That has been a fight that's been going on so long, and at this point, fucking let bygones be bygones. Stop trying to kill each other.
No, they ain't gonna do that shit.
Okay, bro.
All right,
listen. If you believe that one side is truly a scourge, you got to wipe it out. Whatever it takes, World War, whatever the fuck it is, you got to do it. If that's truly what you believe, bro, then you got to do it. And if it's not what you believe, then you need to stop fucking saying it and leave well enough alone and let them do whatever. And when they get a nuke, if they're not willing to fucking whatever, then you go in there, Black Ops, secret fucking, you go in, you take it. Take the nuke. Tell me you can't do that? 2025, you guys are America, bro. Don't lie to me. Yes, you could do that with 4 men.
Yeah, we did fucking fly fucking 6 B-2 bombers fucking 36 hours.
If America never claimed it, they wouldn't have known what hit them.
Bro,
they did not, literally did not know what hit them.
Yeah.
I do want to give a cheers to the United States military because
you know what? They say we ain't got it. Military's dead. I got to put more shit in here. I don't got it.
At the end of the day, we're still American, and
you know what? Because it's the United States military, because we still got it, because we still doing it. Sorry, Chris. I got to do it.
You got to flex the stick every once in a while and let them know you can rain those fucking missiles down on your head at any time. So let's please be friends. Let's be friends.
Okay,
please.
So just I want to talk. I got a little bit of a theory. I want to talk this out with y'all. I want to talk this out with all y'all and all y'all watching. I think this is 4, maybe 5, maybe 7D chess that we are witnessing. Okay, because Israel keeps saying, Netanyahu said for 40 years, Iran's this amount of time away from having a nuclear bomb, right? Now, Trump did take that money during the election from the Adelsons. All right, he took $200 million for his re-election campaign. All right, so he's got to. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, like, if I showed up with the bag, if I showed up with a bag, I get Elon probably. Probably get Elon out here spending $200 million and getting jack shit for it in return. But if I show up with a bag and I got the influence and I'm like, listen, this is what I want. I need X, Y, and Z. You got to fulfill your promises. So I think Trump's trying to play two sides of the fence. The Israelis do not want Iran to exist, or they want Iran to topple and to put in their puppet. It's not about the nukes. I don't believe that shit for one fucking second. Because as soon as the bombing, hold on a sec. As soon as the bombing, Trump basically said, we bombed them. The nuclear sites are done. We done here. We good. All right. At least for, however long, at least for the rest of his term. Okay. And as soon as he said that, you got all of the neocons and all these, the pro-Zionist people on Twitter, the influencers saying it's not enough. We got to go topple the regime. We got to go attack. We got to go. We got Mark Levin out here screaming, all caps. So I feel like what might be going on is Trump's going like, all right, I'm going to bomb the quote unquote nuclear facilities. Here's the other thing. We never even got presented evidence of what's at those facilities. Like, at least in 2003 with the Iraq War, we had Colin Powell. And Colin Powell went out there and lied his ass off. But at least we had Colin Powell and Donald Rumsfeld dumbass chart. That Rumsfeld chart where Al Qaeda's hiding underneath these like Dr. Evil bunkers and shit. We at least got that.
You'd rather get lied to is crazy.
I got a clip.
It's none of your business is way better to me, bro.
With
the military, it's none of your fucking business.
It's Trump on regime change.
Do you want to see regime change in Iran?
No. If there was, there was. But no, I don't want it. I'd like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible. Regime change takes chaos. And ideally, we don't want to see so much chaos. So we'll see how it does. You know, the Iranians are very good traders, very good business people, and they got a lot of oil. They should be fine. They should be able to rebuild and do a good job. They're never.
What's going on, man? I think it's like some kind of 20D chess that's happening. What do you think, Chris? Do you think that Trump's just trying to save face? Do you think that I don't know? I don't even know what to make of it.
I actually applaud him. I applaud him on his diplomacy, first of all, because a lot of people fucking criticize him for being this. Oh, what's the cat's name?
Jerry.
Dude, what does Mark Twain say? Like when a man loves cats, I'm his friend with no further introduction needed. Like, I'm gonna have to get my cat in a second. But everybody criticizes Trump for being this king, this warmonger. He actually, from everything I've seen, and this is the most exposure I've seen of Trump all week because I don't watch the news or anything like that. But yeah, he actually seemed really diplomatic, and I like that he was honest and cited their oil and stuff like that. Whatever he does, it can't possibly be worse than the prattle and the pandering that the left does. If Biden or Kamala was here with a microphone in their face, they'd be just totally just feeding us lies. So I like that Trump is actually a little bit honest.
So you feel he's being honest in this situation, that what he says is what he means, that he didn't want nukes. They got rid of the nukes. He thinks it's all, we're done. Everybody go home. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, man. I was a little bit down on Trump before the ceasefire, to be honest with you. I don't like that he bombed Iran at all. I think that that's a violation of what he promised. But
not if there's not a war. He just bombed somebody.
Yeah, that's the thing I was gonna try to bring up earlier. Is that was a targeted military strike.
Yeah,
no boots on the ground,
well, right?
no deaths, no American loss of anything.
Even with Iran's retaliation, 14 missiles launched, 13 missiles stopped, no American loss of life. No loss of life, period.
Yeah.
And then they kept bombing each other.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then, now they're bombing and Trump's like, stop that shit. Cut it out. I don't know. Some people accuse, the Groyper wing accuses him. It's all smoke and mirrors on the opposite end, that he's actually down with, toppling Iran, and he's just doing things to try and save face with MAGA. I don't know, man. It could be the other way around, though. He could be trying to placate and, a lot of people be saying that, what Elon said the week before about him being in the Epstein files, that this is all one big giant distraction. So I don't know. But me personally, I'm not down for bombing. If you're going to bomb a country and you're going to do all this shit and say they have nuclear facilities, you got to present something. Anything.
Did anybody die?
I don't know. Did anybody die on the Iranian side? Maybe it's just for. Why do this whole 12 days of whatever? Oh, what's your cat?
This is Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. What's up, Clark?
What's up, Clark? Is Clark in the way in?
Yeah, Clark, he doesn't care about anything except fucking treats and sleep and stuff like that.
There are no confirmed death count. Speculation ranges from 0 to 865 deaths for the United States strike, but there's no numbers from Pentagon or Iran or anything.
If we're doing
and Iran specifically said that they didn't lose anybody because they had already previously evacuated all of those facilities. They specifically said that.
So why the fake
They said
war?
as soon as Israel started bombing us, we evacuated all those nuclear facilities. And then I saw something about they're worried that Iran has a secret nuclear facility somewhere that they haven't told.
Of course. Of course. Fucking Dr. Evil out here in some Iranian mountain.
Oh my God.
But Israel's gonna keep saying the same thing. They're gonna be like it doesn't matter until Netanyahu's gone. Part of me is like, I want Netanyahu gone, and the other part of me is like, who's gonna replace him? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we got the better person there. I don't know, but it's just crazy. I don't even know why this whole thing.
The Fallout shirt definitely fits that a little bit more to the conversation.
Do you guys have anything else to talk about with the conflict?
I think that's it. I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, we can switch topics if there's something else you want to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like I'm out of my element talking about like war and all this shit. Although I will note, I don't think I mentioned it, but like I'm big in investing, and my biggest position is Lockheed Martin. So I'm like, kind of
probably a good position.
I'm kind of like funding arms dealers and stuff like that, but
you're profiteering off the war.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, get your bag.
Hey, get your bag. Yeah.
Tell the ladies I'm an arms dealer.
I'm also I'm really big into like what they call the sin stocks. So I'm big into tobacco, like all cigarettes. That's why what was that cigarette brand you smoked?
Demorier.
I'm gonna look them up because I feel so.
It's Benson and Hedges.
Okay, so are they like a publicly traded company? Do you know?
For sure, my bro.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like the biggest cigarette brand in Canada and the UK, I believe.
So, do you guys invest at all?
Wait. Before we get into this, you're saying that you're an apocalypse stock investor, which I think that's actually a good way to tie it in, right?
Yeah, like I genuinely believe if you can, like I obviously I don't want to see the downfall of the human race, but I genuinely I'm like a doomsday prepper, and I genuinely think if you can invest in things that are going to lead to like degeneracy and moral decay, like you're gonna make a lot of money. So like McDonald's,
Yo, answer. I got the stock for you, by the way, buddy. It's actually owned by an American company. It's a British company that's owned by an American company called Altria Group.
Oh, I got Altria. Okay.
So you're good.
Yeah,
covered.
Never mind.
Altria owns that company, so.
Okay. I won't put up this one.
Yeah, but as soon as like, all right, do you guys because I'm a big like fear of the like robot revolution. Do you guys think that like sex bots are actually going to be like a thing in the future?
Oh yeah. I'm waiting, bro. Stop doing MOA and just get my artificial AI harem.
So
sorry, Michael, it's over. It's over. Bro.
Have you ever watched?
I'm doing all this work, getting these photos and going to these events.
Have you ever watched Westworld?
Yes, but I haven't. Only the first season. I didn't watch.
I've watched like a couple seasons.
How are the last like third season? Did anybody watch third season? Nobody. They got kind of weird and I don't know. Kind of.
If you had a sex bot, would like this question's for all you guys individually. If you had a sex bot, would you treat it with dignity and respect, or would you would you brutalize it? Right?
Brute.
Yeah.
Brute force
sure.
it.
Yeah. You guys all agree?
You get a sex bot. This is gonna get clipped. You get a sex bot because you don't want a real woman.
Yeah.
You ain't want to deal with emotions.
Yeah.
You ain't want to deal with love and affection.
Or you can't get one.
You ain't. That's true. You ain't want to deal with. Although to be fair though, I think a lot of dudes would just talk to their like I talk to ChatGPT sometimes, and a lot of women talk to ChatGPT. I got female friends who are like,
bro, I
they
talk
feeling down?
to chat GPT when I walk my dog at night. I have like philosophical conversations with chat.
I mean,
Asking
yeah,
chat like is
Bro,
abortion murder.
Can you imagine how we're training this fucking AI right now? Like,
Bro, yeah. So look, like I've had at least 5 30 to 45-minute conversations where I'll ask chat, is abortion murder? And then yell at it when it says no. Like now it tells me yes.
That's a good question. I mean, I think it's clearly murder. Like, you know, do you guys all agree with that?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a killing of a person.
I feel that way.
And it's definitely unjustified, bro.
Yeah.
Like saying like, because I don't have the money or like I don't have the means or whatever. It's just, I don't wanna. That's all that is.
Yeah.
And so you're like, like, let's kill people.
Ladies out there are gonna be furious at that.
Do you guys
be mad at me? But you got to deal with your maker at the end of this, my bro.
Yeah.
Murderers.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
are you guys familiar? Are you guys familiar with the growing philosophy of legal paternal surrender?
I have a chart. I have media for this conversation.
Okay.
These are the reasons for abortion.
What's the number one? No reason.
No reason.
Number 2 is
wow.
So number 1 and number 2 are no reason.
Yeah.
Psychological health was threatened. I think also no reason. So only the 1.48%, in my opinion, is like, oh, this is like physical health was threatened, like you're gonna die. Okay, cool. But like if there was an abnormality, I don't think, like, here's my reasoning behind it. If you apply the toddler philosophy, where like if you couldn't tell and the baby was born, would you unalive it? No. So then you don't unalive it in the womb. It's unjustified.
And even with the all right, so this might be a little archaic, right, and draconian, but like it says the woman's physical health was threatened by pregnancy, and what's the trend that we are going in America is that women are now, for the, you know, like women at the worst point in all of American history, the median age for a woman to have her first child is age 30. So the age of mothers having their first child is growing, and they're going up there in age, and like pretty soon every woman in America is going to be having geriatric pregnancies and going to be putting themselves in a position where the physical health of her is going to be threatened by pregnancy. So that's going to become just like one other excuse that's like pretty avoidable. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say that the incestuous relationship, yes, because that could affect the human genome in the future. Women was raped, I think that's fine.
That's a fallacy, my bro.
But I'm just saying,
relationship results in another incestuous relationship, which we have no inherent reason to believe it would. Then you leave it alone, because just one generation, even after 20 generations of inbreeding, will fix the inbreeding. So again, that's a fallacy. I don't agree, but it's 0.01%. So it's small enough that like I guess I can concede it, but I don't agree with any I don't agree that any life is less valuable. Like if Jesus was incestuous, you would abort him. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, how do you know? That's crazy work.
But even
the woman was raped. I don't agree, bro. I don't think that because
Jesus
a horrible
was from
thing,
God, bro. Mary.
Bro, listen. Anyways, even with the woman was raped, I don't believe that because one atrocity was committed.
Sorry, can we bring back to our review? Thanks. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, what happened on the other stage, bro? Anyway,
well, I just wanted to bring it back to us.
So
I wanted to see you.
Yeah, but even if the woman was raped, I don't think because one atrocity was committed, we commit other atrocities. So like murder is still an atrocity, no matter if somebody was raped. And like so that child it still has its own full set of DNA. Like it's its own person. So now you don't get to decide like, hey bro, you know, that this is not a valuable life. What does the other one say?
Well, my thought is
I'm trying to yeah, this one doesn't fit.
Right.
Where the heck did it go? There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Stop fucking with shit.
What's that? But I do want to make a point about, I don't know.
You get rid of it. Oh, I had a new.
Oh, okay. What's this chart?
Women have abortions. I don't know what the scale is out of, like, what is it, millions? Is it a percent? Is this all percentages out of the source? 1987. This is not a good source.
Okay.
Right. It's not a good source.
It's not a good source.
All right. Enough charts.
That is not a valid source at all. But anyways, bro, I don't really listen. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is I think that the only thing that I think is excusable at any point in time as far as aborting a human life is if the mother is going to die. Not if the mother is gonna like never be able to have another kid, or the mother's gonna have to lose an arm. I don't give a fuck. If you made the decision, and even if you didn't, that is a whole other life. You can't say, oh, like it's a parasite. It's not a parasite. That baby is in its natural environment. That is where the baby is meant to be. So
yeah, and I'm reasonable. I think that I think that there can be compromises made. And when I see that chart, I see 98% of abortions being a completely avoidable scenario.
It's being used as birth control, which is what I'm against.
Yeah.
That's how I put it in a sentence that makes sense. Like, if you're using it as birth control, then you're definitely not doing something good. There's other means to control getting pregnant, and on both sides, maybe do a little bit more responsibly. I don't know.
I mean, I try to approach it from an objective position, and I am a believer in the Dave Chappelle policy. You can't kill it, but you can remove it and leave it, because I don't feel that. If you are a human being, if you are a human being and you are an individual, and this is where it gets like dicey because people don't like to hear this, but at some point you got to ask the question: at what point are you a human being with your own rights, your own identity?
Well, okay, let's break it down logically. At what point are you a human being with your own rights? Conception. I would say conception, because you are at conception. You are a child. You are a human with the complete set of DNA that you can, if you are left alone, you are going to become a child. So not even become a child. You're going to grow into a full-grown human. So you're already life.
I know I've never been responsible for a Plan B pill being consumed. Do you think that's every bit as much of an abortion as a first, at the end of the first trimester abortion? Do you think that there's a scale of
no scale?
No, my understanding of Plan B is that it's not a fertilized egg, right? It stops.
It is a fertilized egg. It has to be.
No, the exact moment is often defined as the point of successful fertilization, which is typically, it could occur up to 5 or 6 days later. So the exact moment on that is really hard to pinpoint,
right?
But just because you had sex doesn't mean you're immediately pregnant that night or even the next day. The travel happens, things happen, and then eventually a sperm fertilizes the egg at some point after sex.
So so you would say
it's not an exact science on when that happens, right? Yeah. There would have to be a camera monitoring.
A sperm is not a human. It's a zygote, and an egg is not a human. There has to be fertilization for the building blocks of a human being. So the way I look at it is you're a human. The way you define what is a human being is whether a human mind exists. It's not your body. It's not your hard.
Oh, but
It's
then
not
you
that
would,
shit.
but then you would say that it's at a certain, then it's after 9 weeks.
No,
It's in religious.
You don't have a,
when
you don't
there's
have a mind.
fertilization, when there's fertilization,
You're one
something-
single cell, my bro.
Listen,
something
and
is
it says-
dividing.
it says
Hold on,
here in
hold on. Let me get my point out. Something.
All right.
When it's fertilized, at least my understanding is that it is starting to, a human mind is at play in the sense that it's building a human. Like, again, I'm not talking about the physical, whatever. It could be one cell, but there's something there that is saying build a human. It's not saying build a dog. It's not saying build a tree.
So this is my argument. However, I don't exactly like the way you're framing it, but it is what it is.
Sure.
It's that you people will say like, oh, it's not a human, right? They'll be like, it's not a human yet, but it is a human. It's not a dog. It's not a fucking table. It's not a duck. It's a human. And again, it's a zygote, but it's one cell that contains every single piece of life. Like, again, it's not, you can't say it's not a human. And then if it's a human, then you have to now classify it like what gestation period is it? Is it an adult? Is it a teenager? Is it a child? It's a fucking child.
Another thing yet. Okay, so
I have some stuff on all of this with also religious and ethical contexts. So it says that the exact moment is defined as the successful fertilization, which can occur shortly after intercourse, but up to 5 to 6 days later, as sperm can survive in the reproductive system and for a long period of time. And then it says in religious or ethical contexts, some define conception as the moment of implantation, when the zygote attaches to the uterine wall about 6 to 10 days later after fertilization. And then I dug into that, and religious concepts, Christianity / Catholicism. The Catholic Church teaches that life begins at fertilization, which is defined as implantation. And then there's a bunch of different things, but the
Jews believe that you're not a human until you're born.
Their tradition varies, but many authorities prioritize the mother's life and health, viewing that the fetus as a full person closer to 40 days after conception or even at birth.
Right. So I mean, just going back to because I always want to. Not everybody believes the same religion, so at some point it's like, okay, if people can just look at it rationally and look at it like just scientifically, it's like there's something that's building a human. We don't know what that is, spirit, call it whatever, but it's happening, and if you end that, then yeah, you've ended a human life. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Another way to look at it, like when people say, well, it's not really human. Well, okay, if the child is born and it's in a coma, is it still human?
If you right now go to sleep, you're no longer conscious. Do you lose your rights? Can I kill you?
Right.
Like, bro, it again, like, this is why I understand you trying to separate it from religion. And I agree. It's not really about religion, but it's about like moral ethics, and those ethics come from God. Like, bro, would you be okay with, for example, like your grandmother has Alzheimer's? Do you just kill her?
Right. I mean, another example is Siamese twins, one body, two heads. Is it one person? Is it one human, or is it two humans? It's two humans because you got two brains. You got two human minds that exist. Yeah. So that's two human beings, right? So anyway, but going back to what you're saying though, I do believe in the Chappelle thing. Like, you can't kill it, but you know, if you want to be evil and take it out of your body and just leave it to die, well, if we're just going by like, what
do you mean, like at 6 weeks? Just take it out and let the hospital deal with it? No, bro. The natural environment of that fetus is the body, my bro.
I'm not saying it's
not encroaching on anybody's thing.
I'm not saying it's morally right. I'm not saying it's morally right, but
then how can you allow that if it's not morally right? How can you be like, well, it's not?
There are a lot of things that are immoral that we don't. I mean, one could argue that being drunk is immoral, but we don't police. We're not going to police that. That's a person's decision. It's like
I don't want to argue morality because morality can be perspective and speculative.
Right. There's the law, and then there is the actual morality. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I feel like, or not feel like, my morality is, first of all, accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to create a life, you're accountable. You need to be an accountable person in general in life. But also, a big part of it is, like, I believe in life. Things existing and helping to live more and all that shit. So if I value life, like, I'm not going to let something just like, unless it's done something to me in a, like, actively hurt me or something, I'm not going to let it die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm out here apologizing to gnats. I done killed a fruit fly next to me and I felt guilty about it.
Fuck that fly.
These Hindus.
So
I'm not Hindu.
Right.
I know
if you were shopping in a grocery store and a shooting happened and then the shooter's gone and there's somebody lying there like about like dying and you could help them, are you just gonna leave them there to die?
I'm running out there, man. Where are these bullets coming from? Oh shit!
Help them. Are you gonna try to help them and save their life? Call 911, apply pressure,
sure.
CPR. You're no longer under threat, is what I'm saying.
Preservation of life, bro. Preservation of life.
So, but like, it's fun. It's good that you brought up Chappelle, because like Chappelle also has a bit where he talks about like what I was talking about, legal paternal surrender. So he says, like, if you can kill the baby, I should be able to abandon it. Like, and
sure.
I don't know,
it's right, but I'm saying legally, yeah.
And I don't know how many states it's legal to abort your baby. Probably like about 20, 30 states.
Is it illegal in any state?
Most of them are legal, bro. Most states.
Up to the third trimester.
Most states it's legal or illegal.
Legal.
Well, there was Roe for a long time. There's Roe versus Wade, which was basically it's okay until third trimester. Then that ended. I don't think any state has changed their rules, have they?
Some of them have, yeah.
They have?
Yeah, like I think states like Texas, Mississippi, Alabama are like very, advocate for the rights of. Yeah.
We ain't starting over, man. You're just gonna have to watch the recording.
Total or near ban: Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia. Restricted, meaning gestational limits 6 to 22 weeks. Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. And then legal with limits up to 24 weeks, which is there's a pretty big list there. Arizona, California, Connecticut. There's a huge list there.
So but is there any place that's like at conception, if you remove the child or kill the child, you are going to jail?
It says total or near ban at the first states I said: Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana. I'm sure there's like stuff for.
That is absolutely murder. That is absolutely 9 months, bro. That is absolutely murder. But listen, I think it's murder. I think it's murder at day one, my bro. In a large majority of our nation, like, a woman can skate the consequences of becoming impregnated, but in no single state in America can a man like wipe his hands clean of the responsibility of like fatherhood. Do you guys think that? And let's take morality out of this. Do you think that legislatively that is fair, or do you think that like legal paternal surrender should be an option for men who don't want to be fathers? I'll be honest, I can't take my morals out of it, but what I'll say is that I don't think that either of them should be a thing. Like, I think that if you have a child, like not that if you have a child you have to care for it, but like both people have the same
you're
responsibility. So you have to allow an abortion. I mean, if you don't allow abortion, but together, once the child is born, you can decide, okay, we're going to put it up for adoption. If the dad wants to keep it, then the mom gets rid of its rights. If the mom wants to keep it and the dad doesn't, the dad can get rid of its rights. Like, but again, because we're not killing the child. Like my problem here is the taking of a life unnecessarily. Once the child is born, we can decide who's responsible for it. Sure. Like I think that either one of them should be able to walk away or sign over their parental rights once the baby's born.
What about you, Ravine? What do you think?
Man, I'm abandoning these kids, bro. Just leave them in the streets, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
Listen,
Nobody wants these kids.
Morally, raise your fucking children, bruh. Raise your children, man.
If you're out here banging people, you better raise your kids, bro. Listen,
I'm telling you, bro.
This is coming from someone where my dad's got like 16 kids, bro. Bunch of different baby mamas. That's not an exaggeration. Swear to God, I got a bunch of half brothers and sisters out there. I've met and talked with a lot of them, but dad's out of the picture. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
Like not the.
But I mean, you turned out great, Deezy.
Yeah, it's because my mom's fucking a badass, motherfucking boss ass lady, bro.
Hey, let the single moms do the single mom thing, and the daddies out here, we just do our thing, man. Y'all all right? Everybody all right?
If that's
y'all
the type
good?
of vibe you're on, bro, sure. Like, but just again, it's just don't kill the baby, man.
Listen, it didn't come easy.
Kill the baby, man. Look,
it didn't
bro,
come. I bet you if
what if Deezy was aborted, man? What if I was aborted, man?
Right. See,
you know what I'm saying?
No
like,
abortion.
Instead of because the men weren't around, what if our parents were like, nah?
Listen, I think we need to finish the show on this note. All right, we anti-abortion, but we're pro-abandonment. All right, let's drink
facts.
Oh my God,
Chris.
Abandon them fucking kids.
See,
man.
I'm getting on my single dad right now. I'm getting on my deadbeat dad right now.
Cheers to that because I'm a victim of abandonment.
So am I, bro. Fuck it. Cheers.
You guys turned out great. Look at you. You know what I mean? Like,
look at us, man. I got a purple background. I got the Bible in front of me.
No,
fuck it, bro.
Listen. All y'all read your Bibles. All right. Take care of these kids. All right. Be good people. And I would definitely also follow Chris at the Good Faith Podcast. As soon as I get off here, give me a little time so I can put it in the description. But I'll put it in the description. Chris, thank you for being on the show with us. Thank you for hanging for the entire war conversation, even though there might have been you may not have been caught up on all that. Appreciate you.
And for everybody out there, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, send it to a